Yo guys, what's going on? It's Acez here today with another video. In today's video, we're going to be checking out all of the perks in Modern Warfare and the new things they do for Call of Duty Warzone. So all of the perks that rolled over from Modern Warfare to Warzone, some of them are fine and they have stayed exactly the same, but some of them wouldn't apply in Warzone, so they've had their own specific changes for Warzone, which is very nice to see that every single perk will have a use for Warzone. So what we're going to do in today's video is go through every single perk in the game, break them down. I'm going to be explaining what they do for all the new players and then all the Modern Warfare veterans. I'm going to be telling you guys all the new changes that they're going to be doing for Warzone. So double time. You're getting double tactical sprint, and this one is huge for Warzone, especially Plunder. Plunder, when it's pretty much time based on getting the most money, and you want to be sprinting as much as possible, getting around, collecting as much cash, getting those balloons, or getting to a cash extract. Double time is a super important Plunder game mode perk, not as important in regular Battle Royale, mainly because you could run Cold-Blooded, and Cold-Blooded is going to hide you from thermals if someone gets a loadout drop. So that is a really, really big trade-off. It depends on what mode you're playing, but double time is going to increase the amount you can sprint by 2. You're going to get double tactical sprint, and you're also going to get that increased crouch movement speed. It's very nice for multiplayer when you're going for those crouch challenges. I wouldn't think you'd use it that much. It's kind of situational for Warzone. Going on to EOD, this one I really don't recommend you put on any of your Warzone classes. Definitely if you're playing multiplayer, but not Warzone. And because of the fact that you're either going to die instantly by an explosion in Warzone, or in that rare occurrence that you do die by a claymore, it's more like a 1 out of 10 type of thing, and you're better off just running cold-blooded or double time over EOD, because 9 times out of 10 you won't die by like a claymore or a grenade or something stupid. Scavenger depends on how much ammo you burn through, really. This one is just resupplying ammos from dead players. I mean, all the ammo in Warzone drops anyway, so you really don't need to worry about Scavenger. Maybe if you wanted to, I assume that it would still pick up, more tacticals and stuff, but if it doesn't, then, I really can't see a use for this in Warzone, personally. Mainly because there's just so much ammo scattered across the map anyway. I just couldn't see a use for it. Moving on to Cold-Blooded, this one, as I said a little bit earlier, is going to hide you from thermals. Now, there's not too many streaks in Warzone. There's definitely a couple, and you might be able to buy like sentry guns and stuff from the buy station. I don't remember the exact list. I haven't played it enough to know all that stuff 100% yet. But at the end of the day, Cold-Blooded is what I run on all of my Warzone classes, because on the thermal scopes in Warzone, you stick out like a sore thumb. Like, you really do stick out on the thermals. So Cold-Blooded, I have to recommend you use this personally, but let me know what you guys are running in the comments below. Kill chain, one of the big ones that has a big change is, this one would not have any use in Warzone whatsoever. So what they did is they increased the chance you find kill streaks in supply boxes. Now, if you're just finding a common supply box, you're not going to get a streak, let's be honest. But if you're finding one of them legendary ones, chances are, if you have kill chain on, you're probably going to get a kill streak with it. 9 times out of 10, those legendary boxes are dropping me an M4 or the PP Bison, two of the best games in the Battle Royale section, in my personal opinion, if you don't have a loadout drop yet. So this one is, totally up to you guys how much you loot and run around finding all the loot. But at the end of the day, I really couldn't see you using this over Cold-Blooded or Double Time. Quick fix, this one is pretty important for multiplayer, but not as important for Battle Royale unless you're in like the final circle and there's a ton of people everywhere. But killing players immediately starts health regen. That's pretty nice, but capturing and holding objectives increases your health regen rate. Really the only objectives are going to be those ones for your contract, so you're not going to get as much use out of quick fix. Moving on to perk 2, Restock. You're going to recharge your equipment over 50 seconds, and that one is pretty big, I'm not going to lie. Especially if you're using throwing knives, which are an instant kill in Warzone. If you guys didn't know that, it's an instant down if you hit someone with a throwing knife, no matter what armor level they have. So, if you're using this with the right equipment, and if you run this with gas grenades, I could definitely see you using Restock, but me personally, I run overkill. I like having those 2 primary weapons on at all times, especially in Plunder. If you need to snipe someone at long range, you can have a sniper. Someone's rushing you, you have a submachine gun in your back pocket. Hardline, 25% off of all the prices for kill streaks, field upgrades, and armor plates. this one might really be something to consider, especially if you are someone who doesn't die as much. If you're a decent player at the game and you're stacking up a lot of cash, and you're not dying at halfway through the lobby at any point, and you're saving that death until a lot later in the game, this one might be really important because you guys can get a ton of cash early game and just go crazy. You can buy yourself UAVs, buy your team armor plates. If you guys got a ton of cash, or you could have one member in your squad running hardline, give them all your money, they can buy whatever you need. Honestly, it's not going to work for the kill streaks, but some of the stuff you can do the workaround. You hand your teammate money and they're running hardline, they take whatever you need, give you the armor plates, etc. Works kind of like that, but you guys get the point. But at the end of the day, I still couldn't see running this over Restock or Overkill. But it is nice to know that it's there if you want that discount. Overkill, as said, 2 primary weapons, pretty self-explanatory. This one is definitely the way to go in my personal opinion. High Alert. Now, High Alert, I do want to say, is a very great perk for Warzone, but I still think Overkill has got to be the way to go. Unless you're killing someone geared pretty early, or I shouldn't say geared, I should say with a good weapon early, then Overkill will be rendered useless. But High Alert is definitely something to consider as well, because the pulses on your screen, as soon as they hit, you know to run. You know you are in trouble, because if you don't have a line of sight on the enemy, then you know you're being targeted and you need to get out. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of great perk 2s, and that definitely does cause some conflict with building a really good class. High Alert is definitely one that I would recommend if you're a good player and you're getting late game. High Alert is definitely something to have late game. So depends on how you want to go and look at that, but if you're not running Overkill and you're running High Alert, you're definitely going to need to kill a decent player right off the start and get that second weapon. Ghost is going to make you undetectable by UAVs, radar drones, and heartbeat sensors. I've noticed radar drones are used quite frequently in Warzone. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of them. And, it's not a legendary. I think it's the purples. I don't know what the purples are called. I can't remember. I don't think it's just rare. But it might be rare, and then blues might be uncommon. But radar drones, they seem pretty common in the crates, and a lot of people actually take advantage of them. I was very surprised when I started playing. UAVs not used as much. You will definitely see them late game in Battle Royale, and the heartbeat sensors, you might see them early game, but they're not really worth running in my personal opinion. But I wouldn't have Ghost on. I would definitely have High Alert, Overkill, or Restock. Probably Overkill still, or High Alert, but it really depends on what kind of player you are. Then we have Point Man. This is one of the new ones that had a change for Warzone specifically, and this gives all of your team a slight boost to earn more money when you're completing your contract missions, which at the end of the day, it might be really good for Plunder. If you have a whole entire team running Point Man, I'm not sure if those buffs stack or not, and if they do, that would definitely be the key to success for running a Plunder 3-man squad. Moving on to perk 3, we have Tune Up with a really interesting buff here. Tune Up is going to make you have reduced revive times by 25 seconds, and I personally think the revive times are a bit too long, but this is really important. But at the end of the day, I couldn't see you using this over Amped, and honestly, Amped is probably the best perk to use for Warzone in general and most of multiplayer in my personal opinion. Battle Hardened is going to be situational. Shrapnel, you're not going to use that much. Spotter, Tracker might be something worth talking about. But Tune Up with that, reduced revive time, this might be something worth considering. I honestly, it's situational. Almost all of these perks are. And, it just really depends on your playstyle as well. Are you aggressive? If you're aggressive, maybe consider it. But at the end of the day, Amped, the next perk, is what you have to be using. Faster weapon swap is probably the best thing in the game. I mean, when you are running a different perk compared to Amp, it is so mind-bogglingly slow to switch to another weapon. It is just cancerous. Like, it is the worst 3-second period of your life, especially if you're in the middle of a gunfight. So Amped is definitely the way to go, and you're getting that rocket launcher reload speed. And there's a lot of RPGs in Warzone, man. They're pretty common, so Amped having that as well is definitely a plus. Shrapnel, this is going to give you an extra piece of lethal equipment. Now if you're running the throwing knife, this is one to consider, but explosive damage will delay enemy health regen. If they have a stim, this is canceled out. but if they're just putting new armor plates in, it's kind of irrelevant. Battle Hardened, this is going to reduce the strength of flashes, stuns, EMPs, gas grenades, and you'll be immune to snapshot grenades, which is a plus, but definitely got to say I would run amped personally. Spotter, you can see enemy equipment, field upgrades, kill streak, and pretty much everything you might need to see, but at the end of the day, not that many people are going to be using those things. It's mainly going to be about gun skill and gunfights, so at the end of the day, I couldn't see anybody using Spotter unless you have a designated sniper on your team. Tracker is going to leave the enemy footprint trail, but with the, with the way the game is, you can hear footsteps pretty easily, I'm not going to lie. And then, you have pings on the minimap for all of Warzone. There's really no need to run Tracker. You should be using Amped, and it's that simple. So, at the end of the day, I gave you guys my personal opinions. I tried to run through every single perk. I know I was a little biased, but I've been playing Modern Warfare since release. I've hit max level every season, so I have, some knowledge of the game itself in general. So I'm kind of just speaking from experience. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you agree with some of my decisions? Is there a different perk that you're using? Is there a perk that, I'm underestimating or not giving it a fair chance? Let me know what you're running in Warzone in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching today. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, the sponsors and equipment in the description below. That is all I got, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm out.